Yeah, I had to make this video on basically just the confusion among the two parties we have going on, which is the Democrats and the Republicans. I just want to say first that I am neither. I am conservative at heart. I think both sides have slid to the far left being total totalitarianism, which is 100% government, and the far right being anarchy. Uh, I don't believe in anarchy. I don't believe in totalitarianism, but I believe in uh, about two steps off of anarchy. I believe, yeah, we need a government, but no, we do not need a centralized, nationalized, huge, today's massive government. Today's massive government is crushing us left and right. But I'm really interested in the Democrats in this video. If you're a Democrat or even a Republican, if you support Nancy Pelosi or you support Senator Harry Reid, then I would love for you to give me a private message. I'd like to have a conversation with you about a few things. But I don't understand how people, the Democrats, I'm sure about 80% of them. I forgot the approval rating for those two individuals were at like 9% or some crazy shit, lower than George W. And so obviously the American people don't agree with these two piece of trash individuals that are anti-America to the core. But with that said, I don't understand why we as Americans are not doing our job, which was set up in our Constitution, in our Declaration of Independence, from our founding fathers in 1776, which was stating that it's our job to call these wolves in sheep's clothing out. It's our job to bring to prosecution the people that are doing tyranny and that are doing injustice stuff to our Constitution on a daily basis, which these two individuals fit that seed perfect. So I ask all of you, why aren't we calling for their resignations? Why aren't we storming the lawn of D.C. and calling them outside and putting them on trial and prosecuting them for the anti constitutional rhetoric that they speak? I don't get why we don't do that. It seems that people forget so quickly, but for King James, for our founding fathers to sign the Declaration of Independence, made King James put a bounty out on all their heads on the signature of that declaration. Nonetheless, they gave up the safety of their families. They gave up the safety of their livelihood. They gave up their jobs. They gave up their well-being, their comfort, their 9 to 5. They gave it all up for the best interest of us, which, sad to say, 5 generations down the line, and we're letting it fail. We've become a bunch of fucking sourpuss commies in my eye that want to love every fucking thing on the world and want to get paid the same as everybody else, and nobody has ambitions to go out and make yourself $1 anymore. I mean, it would be nice, a lot of people think, if we just all got paid the same and paid the proper price for a product and no inflation on any products. That all sounds beautiful, but then we'll all live in poverty. And, this country is not about living in poverty. Yes, there are people that live in poverty, but there are people that have lived in poverty and make millions of dollars today. And that is the beauty of this country. It's not on if you want to make $1, it's on if you're going to make $1. And it's all on your shoulders. And that's the absolute truth. And that's not to say about a lot of socialist countries, but I'm getting off track here. What I'm trying to say is being on the left or being on the right or being a libertarian or being a independent or being a fence sitter, whatever you want to call yourself, we have let our Constitution slip. And this stuff going on today is unconstitutional, which was our job to watch. And all these ratified amendments and just all this shit, loopholes and attorneys and Wall Street people running our government. What do you personally think about attorneys? I know most Americans think attorneys are fucking scumbag pieces of shit that get over on you. Well, why don't you look into our United States Congress? Why don't you look into the United States Senate? You know how many fucking attorneys sit in those positions that smooth talk their way into that goddamn building, and we sit there and feed into this shit? You know, you don't have to vote for the guy that's running on your party. You can have a mass hysteria and raise your people on your party to get rid of that fucking guy and put in who you want. But nonetheless, we as Americans are been trained in this battle against each other, as in left and right, pro-immigration, anti-immigration, just pro-socialist, anti-socialist. The media is fucking feeding us breadcrumbs as we eat it and just follow exactly where they want to take us. And the thing is when did we get this stupid? You know, when did we let down what was so proud and so great, at least to me and my family, which was our flag, which was our country, which is, you know, our soldiers, which that's what America's about, man. It's the love between that, nothing else, not this commie bullshit, not the centralized banks, not the Fed. That's all tyranny. That's all the sign of tyrants. And it's clear. Here's a quote from Thomas Jefferson: when the people fear the government, that is tyranny. When the government fear the people, that is liberty. Now ask yourself, what do you fear? Do you fear the government, or does the government fear you? I'm pretty sure it's going to be us fearing the government, okay? Because they, under the Patriot Act, they can come grab you for no crime, throw you in a box for the rest of your fucking life, and not even await for a trial under the Patriot Act, which took away an amendment right there, the due process and a speedy trial. But just ask yourself, what the fuck, man? Are they allowed to do that as Americans to Americans? No, they're not. It's unconstitutional. And it's our job as Americans to call out unconstitutional laws, just like our military does, which are sworn, which take an oath to protect our Constitution. Not to protect the president, not to protect the Senate, not to protect the Congress. It's to protect the Constitution of the United States, which is being bombarded by our Senate, by our Congress. And, you know, this is where you see these Homeland Security reports coming out saying possible ex-military can be dangerous Homeland militiamen. And it had the fucking audacity to compare Timothy fucking McVeigh with our vets. Not to mention a fucking child killer, okay? He blew up a building with a daycare center in it. And not to mention all the shit around that. Let's just, I'm getting off subject here, and I'm sure it's almost 10 minutes on my video, but one thing about Oklahoma City bombing that a lot of people don't know, but the governor's brother, 2 years before the Oklahoma City bombing, wrote a book about a bombing on the federal building, the same exact building, and this is fact here. And the bomber was a white nationalist, which they tried to paint McVeigh as, and his name was Tom McVeigh. That's in a printed book. 2 years before the Oklahoma City bombing. Not to mention, McVeigh was ex-military, possible CIA, and nobody questions the book. Oh, not to mention, the book was dedicated to the Knights of the Round Table, which is a Freemason little handshake crony club. And this bitch got the audacity, Janet Napolitano, to fucking tag our warriors with the same name as a possible CIA, and it nonetheless, if not CIA, a fucking child killer. Well, no, lady, we're not. We're patriots, okay? We're about this Constitution more than 90% of the public is. And then that's where you fear us. And then that's why you come out with this bullshit. Because you know you guys are making a move on our Constitution, on our guns, and on our freedom of speech, and on our right to state sovereignty, and on our right to speedy trial. You guys are making a move on. So, of course, you are going to initially attack the people that made an oath to uphold this Constitution from enemy, foreign, or domestic. And I'm sure this video is almost 10 minutes. I'm going to continue into number 2 because I'm not done. And I know I'm bickering because I don't write this shit down. I just go from up here and that fucks me up. Thank you.